What is going on, guys? It's Justin from the J Media back with another video. So over here, as you can tell in the garage, a little bit change of cars. If you guys didn't watch the previous video, make sure to watch that first. But over here you can see my Acura RSX DC5 is in the garage right now beside Toyota Supra. So basically what happened was my Mitsubishi Lancer GT has been sent off to the shop for the turbo build. I'm really excited. Like I said, over the course of maybe the next week or few weeks, I'll be heading to the shop to check on the progress. So I decided to move my RSX into the garage. So yeah, 2020 Supra will have a new partner for the next week or two while my turbo build is being done. And this is not the purpose of the video, but I came in the garage because these wheels, these SSR Professor SP1 3-piece wheels, might finally be going to a new owner today. So if you guys didn't know the story behind these SSR wheels, I'm gonna share it with you guys. But what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna take these wheels out there, put it out in the sun, get them washed, and story time for you guys. Alright, so I have all four wheels out here. So let me just tell a little story to you guys. As you can tell, these are staggered setup. So what that means is the fronts are not as wide as the rears. These wheels do not fit on any of my cars. And you guys might be wondering, what am I doing with wheels that don't fit my car at all? So basically what happened was, this story goes back about 2 years ago, I think. This was 2018 June. So basically what happened was, I was at a car show. I was going to a car show here in Austin, and the car show was Texas Heat Wave. So I'm not gonna reveal his name for, you know, so that I know some of you guys don't go hating on him, but I guess you could say a fellow friend. So I've known him because I've done work with him before in the past on my car. And basically I was admitting my car in the car show, Texas Heat Wave, and he was also admitting his car in the show, but he was like, he was 50-50 about it because he didn't have wheels to put on the car. And he's like, you know, I'm not gonna put my car in the show if I don't have wheels. And I told him, I was like, you know, I have actually a set of extra wheels sitting at home. So back then I just switched over to my Vogue Racing TE37 wheels. I had my previous set of Vogue Racing CE28 wheels with me. So I was like, you know, I could, you know, let you rock the wheels for the show. And he's like, yeah, cool, I'll buy it off you. So what happened was, I brought the wheels, you know, he slapped tires on them. Actually, I forgot if they were tires. Maybe, yeah, I think there were tires on there. But basically he got the wheels and slapped them on his car. It was a 2-day car show, so car show went well, and he was like, yeah, don't worry bro, I got you. And we already spoke about the price and all that stuff. But long story short, we dragged on for, like, you know, I was trying to get my money. I was trying to sell the wheels to him for a pretty good price. I was selling to him for $1,500. And again, if you guys know what the C28 wheels are, they're a pretty good deal for that price. They were previously on my Mitsubishi Lancer GT. And what happened was, weeks turned to months, and he eventually never paid me. So yeah, it kind of sucks. And I showed up to his home, I showed up to his workplace, I just never got the money. So story with these wheels, pretty much I was like, you know, I need my wheels back, or I need payment for it, which he didn't have both. Car was somewhere else. He was like, you know, I can get the wheels back to you, but he's like, he have these set of SSRs. And I was like, you know, I'm not really looking to trade. I'm trying to sell the wheels because I'm trying to have cash. But I was like, I'll just take whatever I can. So what happened was, he just gave me one wheel. And then eventually I was like, why am I going to do one wheel? I need all four wheels. Eventually he was like, you know what, fine, just take the whole set. So I came back, took the other 3 wheels. I told him, I'm not going to sell these wheels. I'm going to hold on to the wheels, and if you have the cash, just pay me for the C28s and I'll give you back your SSRs. So pretty much that happened for a year. I waited a year for him. I mean, I didn't have to. I could have just sold the wheels right away, but I just want to be nice about it. And you know, it's not like I urgently need the cash anyway, so I was like, let me just have the wheels sitting. So basically, again, you know, after a year I was like, you know, he hasn't hit me up, this and that, so I was like, let me just put a post up for sale. So eventually I put it out for sale. I wasn't really urgently trying to push the wheels for sale, but then it kind of just dragged on. And yeah, so these wheels, let me tell you guys the wheel specs. Like I said, they are staggered. They are 19-inch wheels, 3-piece wheels, by the way. So I could always rebuild it if I really want it to fit on my Mitsubishi Lancer GT show car. The fronts are 19. So again, these are estimates. My boy Min came over one day to give me a rough estimate since they've been rebuilt. But the fronts, these two of the fronts are 19 by 10.5, and in the offset he guesstimated to be offset 0. The rears are 19 by 12.5, offset 10. So these are off a Z, so it fits 350Zs, 370Zs. You can fit on Infinity, G35, G37. They should fit perfectly well as well. So let me show you guys here. So this is one of the fronts. So they aren't in the best condition, as you can tell. I haven't actually washed them down or anything, but these wheels do have some wear. Tires on the front, especially this side, is pretty short. Probably need new tires. Previous owner was running a stretch setup. So if you look at the wheel, these are 10.5, but he is running 235s for the front tire. So 235s on a 10.5-inch wheel, stretched. And like you can see over here on the face, probably need that repainted or, you know, powder coated. The lip is still pretty good. It just needs it clean and polished. There is a little bit of cup rash, you can tell over here, slight cup rash. And it's also missing some of the hardware right here, so you gotta get that. So yeah, it does need a little bit of love, need some work, but it does hold air. Like I said, I had the wheels for 2 years now, not leaking or anything like that. Just slight cup rash and hot wear and paint. You could basically rebuild them if you wanted to. So these are the fronts, and then we have the rears over here. The rears are big boys. So the rears, let me show you, pretty meaty. Slightly stretched setup as well. So 12.5 on the rears for width. Tires, I believe, are 295s, so pretty big. Sorry, 285s. 285s on the rear. Still slightly stretched, but much more thread on the rears. And if you look over here, he has a really fat lip. So lip here looks about, I'd say about a 5-inch lip. It's pretty big, pretty deep lip. So pretty nice for show setup. And like I said, 3-piece wheels means you can rebuild them, you can take them apart. They are original wheels, SSRs, SP1s. They are not rep wheels, rep brand or anything like that. So they are great wheels. It just needs a little bit of love. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and wash it down. I'm gonna attempt to wet sand some of these cup rash as well. So like I said, on the fronts here, I'm gonna wet sand it down. Probably start with like a 400 grit sandpaper, move down to 600 grit, and then 2000 grit just on the cup rash on the side. Yeah, and we do have a guy, well, we have had quite a few people reaching out to me to buy the wheels, but just never really made the trip down, never really cared too much to, I mean, people gave me offers on it, but just never really actually made the effort to come down to see it or test fit it. This guy has a G37, and he's coming up from Dallas, so it's about a 3-4 hour drive. Fingers crossed. We already spoke about the price and everything. I'm gonna clean it down, fingers crossed. Hopefully he picks them up. I'm letting go for pretty cheap. If you guys know, these wheels, brand new, just the wheels go for about 3,500 to 4,000, so hopefully can let it go for a good price. First thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and spray it down with a hose. Just spray down water, and then I have some foam gun. I'm gonna foam it up just like washing a car normally. Like I said, it hasn't been washed for a long time, so it's actually spider webs underneath. So I'm gonna foam it, water first, foam it down, use a wash mitt, get it nice and clean, and then once that is done, then I'll go ahead and do the wet sanding and show you guys how it's done.
I'm wasting all my time thinking of the things we could do. If you gave me one more sign, I could find a way to break through. Oh.
Alright, so now that I went ahead and washed it, so like I said, just water. I went ahead and sprayed some foam and used a wash mitt to wash it down. Don't forget to flip it to the other side and wash the other side as well, especially in my case because it's been sitting for quite a while. They look much better, but like I said, I will go ahead and wet sand it as well. The rears are definitely in better condition. And look at that lip. Oof, looking good. I'll just wash out the inner barrels for both front and rears. So definitely not the cleanest it can be, but like I said, with my soap that's as good as it can go and hasn't been washed in a few years, I'm pretty sure if I really want to get all this stuff off, I can go ahead and give it an intense detail, buff it out, it'll be as good as new. But I'm just gonna wash it just so it's a little bit more presentable. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and work on fixing some of the cup rash. So I think it's a little more noticeable on the fronts. So for example over here, let me focus to show you guys. So over here, I hate cup rash personally, so I'm trying to see what I can do to get it done, hopefully fix it as good as I can. And like I said, I'll be using the wet sanding method. So starting off with a 400 grit sandpaper, then moving to 600 grit, followed by 2000 grit. So you can get all these wet sand materials from your local Home Depot or Lowe's. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take it wheel by wheel. So I'm going to start off with the front since the fronts are a little worse. So if you can tell, you can look at the chunks right here. Some parts on the front are pretty bad. So I'm going to start off with a 400 grit. So 400 grit sandpaper, all you're doing is have a bit of water. So I have my hose out. If you don't, you can just get a bucket of water. So you want to make sure your surface you're doing it is all wet, so nice and wet, and then go ahead and wet your sandpaper down as well, and then you can go ahead and sand it down. Alright, so you can see over here, just with 400 grit sandpaper, it's much better. So much smoother right now. You can touch it, feels much better. Some of the bigger ones like over here, it's a little harder to get unless I get a rougher sandpaper, but the small ones I managed to kind of get it off. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue the process, just do it all around and show you guys the finished product when I'm done. Alright, so I spent a little bit of time wet sanding down the cup rash. So the rear's not too bad, this side not too bad as well. It's this side that was pretty bad, so it looks much better right now. Like I said, much smoother to the touch. Before that, it could probably cut me. Some of these edges are much better. As you can tell, there's quite some spots right here, so I'm gonna continue wet sanding it, but using a 2000 grit really fine sandpaper. Hopefully you can get all these spots out. Alright, so here's the little look now. So much better. Previously you could see quite a few black spots around here. Some of them with the paint chip, I can't really do much. So new owner is probably gonna go ahead and powder coat these or paint the faces anyway. So like I said, 3-piece wheels, you can just take this part off, repaint it. Probably need to get new hardware, so it should look as good as new. And lips are still pretty good, just need it polished. I already wet sanded it down. So yeah, all that's left to do now is pretty much dry it up and go ahead and wipe it down with a nice microfiber towel maybe I can also get out some detailing products and give it a nice little shine. So I bust out some microfiber towels. One is going to go ahead and dry it because it's kind of wet, and then I don't really have much polishing compound or time to work with before the new guy comes to pick it up. So I'm just going to use Meguiar's waterless wash and wax with a different microfiber towel. Go ahead and get it nice and shiny. Alright, so I have all 4 wheels right now all dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down with some instant detail from Meguiar's. About the past hour or so, just washing it down, trying my best to wet sand it and getting it as clean as I can with whatever limited supplies I have. Again, it was somewhat impromptu, so he hit me up. We've been talking for a couple days, but if I knew he's coming down for sure today, I would have made sure I got it real clean beforehand. Probably hit up my boy Chris with AutoWorks Detailing to get it nice and clean and shiny, but it's okay. I've been having a lot of people hit me up over the course of like the past year, but it's always people who flake last minute or people who ask for the address and just never show up. So yeah, just a bunch of flakes. If you guys sell stuff on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, you know it's a struggle. People's always flaking. The more expensive the item you're trying to sell, the more people flake. But anyway, this guy, like I say, he is serious. He was heading down from Dallas, and I told him, hey, whenever you head down, let me know. Once you're on the way, I'll send you the address. So I'm not gonna send the address way ahead of time if he's not gonna show up. So yeah, he should be here in about an hour or slightly less. Pretty excited. Like I said, hopefully he picks it up on the agreed price. The only thing is he hasn't seen it in person yet. Hopefully, like I said, for the price, I think it's a pretty good deal for some nice 3-piece SSR Professor SP1 wheels. He could always rebuild it for a fraction of the price. Again, these things brand new, you probably pay about $3,500 to $4,000 just the wheels without tires. I'm pretty much giving him the tires for free. I originally listed it for about 23 or $2,200. Brought it down all the way, so I'm shaving off a couple $100 off the original price. So yeah, honestly at this point they're just taking out space since I can't fit them on any of the cars. I can't fit them on my Mitsubishi Lancer, I can't fit them on the RSX, can't fit them on the Supra, so might as well let these things go. I think the guy's almost here. It's about time when he's supposed to be here at the house. So yeah, we're gonna show him the wheels. I might not vlog first just to give him a little privacy, but yeah, pretty excited. Should be here any minute to buy the wheels. Just like that, cash deal, pretty quick and easy. Just loaded up everything on the truck and he's heading back to Dallas. So I already counted the cash, but my girl's gonna count it again. So when I saw him, he was pulled up with a whole stack of cash. I saw some 5s. I was like, what the heck? Why is there $5 bills? So, well, it's basically I let it go for a really good deal. Like I said, these wheels in perfect condition, they usually go for $3,500 to $4,000, just the wheels. I let it go for cheap because I'm just trying to get it out of the place since it's taking out space. I let it for sale for $1,500. So I'm being transparent with you guys. The guy himself, he is a car guy. He's a pretty OG car guy. I saw him wearing a Square One shirt, so I was like, are you part of Team Square One? Because I go to a lot of car shows. I know a lot of car show guys from Dallas, from Houston. He's not. He's part of another old school crew, but he's like, you know, he stopped going to shows back in 2013. So he's a pretty OG guy. I'm sure he knows what's up. He know what these wheels are worth, and he's like, he saw that there are scratches, missing some hardware, but he's like, you know, for that price, you really can't complain. So I know some of you guys might be like, $1,500 for wheels are expensive, but again, these are real wheels from Japan, 3-piece wheels. So this is about as cheap as you can get some 3-piece 19-inch wheels. So if you guys stay till really end, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you want to see more videos, don't forget to hit the notification bell. Got really exciting builds coming soon. We have our turbo build about to start in the next few videos. We also have more planning on the 2020 Toyota Supra, as my brother is kind of planning to version 2 of the build. So make sure to stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.